On this episode, we're putting the Bertone motor back together. Well, yeah. I mean, it's already mostly back together, but we got to put all the other stuff on it and then throw it in the car. So if we go back to January the 11th, it was a Saturday. As you can see, it was a gorgeous day in Texas. It wasn't hot. There weren't any bugs. There wasn't any allergies. I was cruising up to Austin, Texas to go to a Fiat meetup thing, and I never made it because I broke it again. I want you to understand that I was the one driving the car. I was the one not paying attention to the temperature gauge, and I'm the one that overheated the motor and fragged it. The cylinder walls were so scored up and gouged out and screwed up that it couldn't be bored because it had already been overbored the last time. So Vick Autosports found me a new used block and used my crank, my rods, new pistons, new rings. This is my head. It had to be skimmed again because it was warped 10 thousandths. Had to go into the chamber and, kind of reshape that because it kind of shrunk. But the block hasn't been decked, so overall compression is going to be about the same. It's got same camshaft in it, so it should be almost exactly like the one I broke. Only this one isn't broke yet. I've done this before. I've taken the motor out 3 times. Put it in twice. Yeah. So there's some other videos available where you can watch me do it again. I need to do a better job of explaining what I'm doing when I'm doing it. I understand that. So on this evolution, there's going to be a lot of talking, and I'm going to try to explain what I'm doing, why, and all that other kind of stuff. So you may have a better understanding when you're trying to do it yourself. So when I sent the motor up to Vick's, I stripped the block down, clean the block. You want to clean everything before you send it to your machine shop. That's the nice thing to do. So the block was stripped, washed, no oil in it. Same thing with the head. Same thing with everything else. And then Vick Autosports has a test stand where they take your motor and they hook it up to air, fuel, spark. Air, fuel, spark, water. And they run it. So they know it works. So that's why all of this other stuff is on here. Anything you want your engine builder to put on, you need to supply or tell them to buy it. You know what I mean? So new water pump, all of that other kind of stuff. You tell them what you want and they'll do it for you most of the time. They put it on some stands to transport it in the back of the car, well, the back of the Tucson. And now I'm putting on the pressure plate and clutch assembly. The pressure plate and clutch. I'm putting on the clutch disc and the pressure plate. And I got a little tool here that helps me center the clutch plate into the crankshaft. There's one that has splines on it. You can get that. I have one, but it's for a 124. It doesn't fit this one. But this is the same diameter as the inside of the clutch plate, so it'll help me center it. And then there's studs on here that holds it on, and then we're going to screw it on. And these are the bolts that held it on. They're just M8 by 125s. They're not special. They're just bolts. I'm gonna put a little blue Loctite on there, just because they come with a lock washer, or it's a lock washer. But Loctite gives you a little bit of extra security so that it won't accidentally back out and frag your transmission. You don't have to put a lot on there because it's going to go into the threads when you spin it in. I mean, you can put as much as you want, but and the thing about Loctite is, you know, there's different types. There's red, there's blue, I don't know, green, yellow, orange, I don't know. There's all sorts of colors. There's different numbers. There's high temperature, you know, the works. For most of this stuff, think of it as red Loctite is something you're never going to touch again. Blue Loctite is something that will require service. So eventually this clutch is going to require service because the clutch disc is going to wear out and we're going to have to replace it. And it, you know, makes it a little bit easier, but you know, Ugga Duggas break red Loctite, no problem. And see how this is cattywampus? And see, it's already tight, so we're gonna have to loosen it up because we'll never get our transmission in there. And then there's torque specs for all of this stuff. So these are 28. There's some holes in the back, and you can use those to help hold it in place on the block while you twist. This is centered. That's your clutch plate. This is your pressure plate. This is where the throwout bearing goes. It pushes these in and it releases the pressure on the clutch. That way it can shift. This is your flywheel. If you're one of those guys that wants to put paint marks on everything, go ahead, but you watch me do it. We know it's tight. So now we can throw the transmission on it. This will be a little difficult, but it's not impossible to do by yourself. What I'm going to do is spin this around and drop it down so I can wobble the transmission on there. And we'll bolt that on. I'm going to put a little grease on this spline just because. The spline is here in the center and it has to line up there. So we're going to raise the motor up. We might have to brace it so it doesn't swing. Nothing's Vick tie you out of the way. I'm not hitting on anything else. Got it. Okay. Big bolts. We're gonna put them $58 foot-pounds. Like that. So on the 4-speed, the spring goes backwards. On the 5-speed, it goes like this. That's what the book says. Argue with the book. Not me. I don't care.
Okay, cool. Rolling. Got a letter this morning, how you reckon it read? Said, hurry, hurry, yeah, your love is dead. I said, I got a letter this morning, how you reckon it read? I said, hurry, hurry, the guy you love is dead. Grabbed my suitcase, took off down the road. Got down there, so laid out on that cooling board. I said, I'll grab my suitcase, took off down the road. I got down there, she was laid out on that cooling board. Well, I walked right close, looked down in her face. Said, the good old gal got laid to the judgment day. I said, I got right close, looked down in her face. The good old gal got to lay down till the judgment day. Looked like there's 10,000 people standing around the burying ground. Didn't know I loved her till they laid her down. Looked like there were 10,000 people standing around the burying ground. I said I didn't know how much I loved her till they laid her down. Lord have mercy on my wicked soul. Wouldn't mistreat my baby for my weight in gold. I said, Lord have mercy on my wicked soul. I would mistreat my baby for my weight in gold. Well, I fold my arms, slowly walked away. I said, fare thee well, honey, see you on Judgment Day. I said, I'll fold up my arms and slowly walked away. I said, fare thee well, see you on the Judgment Day. No, I went in my room, I got down to pray. Blues came along, drove my spirit away. I said I went into my room, bowed my head to pray. I said the blues came along, Lord, drove my spirit away. You know I didn't feel so bad till the good old sun went down. Didn't have a soul, throw my arms around. Said I didn't feel so bad. The good old sun went down. That's when I didn't have no soul, throw my arms around. Well, I said I loved you, baby, like I love myself. You don't have me, you won't have nobody else. I said I love you, baby, then I love myself. I can't have you, baby, when you can't have nobody else. You know it's hard, I love someone, don't love you. I said it's hard, it's so hard, love someone that don't love you. Ain't no satisfaction, don't care what in the world you do. Got up this morning, just about to break a day, hugging that pillow where she used to lay. I said I woke up this morning, just about to break a day. I said I was hugging that pillow where my girl used to lay. Woke up this morning, feeling around for my shoes. You know my dad, baby, had more walking blues. I said I woke up this morning, feeling around for my shoes. I said you know about that, baby, I had more walking blues. You know, I cried last night and the night before. Got to change my way of living so I don't cry no more. I said I cried last night and on the night before. Changed my way of living, I don't have to cry no more. Ah, hush, thought I heard her call my name. I was so loud, it was so nice and plain. I said, ah, hush, thought I heard her call my name. If it wasn't so loud, Lord, it's so nice and plain. Well, listen, whatever you do, there is one thing, honey, try to get along with you. I said, now listen, oh, whatever you do, there is one thing, honey, I'll try to get along with you. Well, the minute seemed like hours and the hour seemed like day. It seemed like good old gal don't stop to low down ways. I said, minute seemed like hours, hours seem like days. Oh, my good old gal don't stop to her low down cheating ways. You know, love's a hard old phone, make you do things you don't want to do. I said love's a hard old phone, make you do things you don't want to do. Well, love sometimes make you feel sad and blue. I said, well, I love sometimes make you feel sad and blue.
Did you wrap it?
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
Yeah, has to be wrapped.
It looks good.
Has to be wrapped. I think I can drop it from the top.
Oh, I don't know about that, buddy.
I think I can. I cannot. Damn it. Damn it.
Look at how big that pipe is. Jesus.
Oh, it's fucking huge.
Yeah, that's massive.
So stupid.
Is that the stock header?